Hi, everyone. The entertainment industry is often seen as glamorous, but behind the spotlight lies pressure, rejection, and untold struggles that many artists face in silence. Today, we're joined by Lesego Moeletsi, a visionary television and film producer and the founder of Zeal Talent Management, a Johannesburg-based agency empowering actors and models to step into their full potential. But Lesego isn't just building careers, she's building people. With the launch of a new creative wellness initiative, she's addressing something rarely spoken about in the industry, the mental and spiritual well-being of artists navigating a high-pressure world. This is more than a conversation about success. It's about resilience, purpose, and redefining what it truly means to thrive in entertainment. How are you, Lesego?
Well, thanks. How are you?
I'm awesome. I'm happy to have you twice in 3 weeks, as you told me, you're fair.
Yes, nice to be on the platform again. You know.
Like, yeah, likewise. So, Lesego,
Mm.
your journey spans both television production and talent management. What inspired you to bridge these two worlds into one powerful career path?
Okay, so I'll give you a background in terms of the personal reasons as to why I started the agency. So, as a kid, I was also a child model. It's something
Okay.
that I've always loved. It actually runs in the family because my mom is also a model. She was a model, let me say. And then, so growing up, I was doing a lot of work and modeling and all that stuff. And then I got to a certain age, I think I was like 17 years old. I struggled to get gigs. And that was because agencies would say, or casting directors would say that I'm not tall enough. And the required height for modeling, which I was interested in, was, I think, 175 centimeters. And I was 173, which was 2 centimeters shorter. But, they
Yeah.
were still very strict with that. So I still had the passion for, modeling and being a performer, and so I was like, okay, if I can't beat them, I might as well join them. And I was like, okay, so what I had observed with the agencies that I was with is that they onboard a lot of people because they're just trying to make money, and they don't necessarily care about the career development. So I was like, okay, so why not start a talent agency a boutique agency basically, where I represent a small amount of models and talent and, nurture their career path as a model or an actor. So basically that's how Zeal Talent Management came about.
Awesome. All right. I have a comment here, question for you from Jitin Rishika. Hi, Lesego. What is or was the highlight of your career? Do you have fears when walking the ramp?
Um, the highlights of my career. So in terms of the television production side or in terms of modeling, but I'll answer
Both. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
both. Okay. Uh, I think most of my career was a highlight in terms of television production. But I know this may sound weird, but when I quit my last job in television production to pursue my business, because I always knew that I don't want to work for anyone. And there's so many goals that I have for myself, and I will only be able to reach them if, I have my own business. So me quitting my job and starting Zeal Talent Management, I think, was the biggest highlight for me. And in terms of modeling, runway was when I was a small little girl and I won Miss Congeniality, yeah, for one of the fashion
Okay.
shows.
Okay. What about you have fears when walking the ramp? Did you have any fears on it?
So yes, I'm naturally a shy person.
Okay.
So I really struggled with being shy and being I overcame my fear. I think once I got on the runway, I just let go of that fear of people watching me, and I just knew that okay, this is something that I love doing, so I might as well just enjoy, the time, yeah, the walk. So I let go of
Awesome.
those fears. while running, while on the runway. Yes.
As the founder of Zeal Talent Management, what gap did you see in the industry that pushed you to create your own agency?
Mm, So, like I mentioned, that I noticed because I deal with a lot of actors and performers, and a lot of them are complaining that they're with agencies, but the agencies just send them auditions. They don't even know that.
Like I had mentioned before, that I was also a part of agencies growing up, and a lot of the agencies would represent a lot of talent, and not necessarily caring about the career development and their well-being and everything like that. They were only concerned about making money, just sending people to auditions and hoping that they get the role, and then they just make money. And a lot of talent that I've worked with as well complain about the same thing. So I was like, okay, because naturally I'm a nurturing person and I care about people, when it comes to such things, especially the importance of your career and your well-being. So then Zeal Talent Management was the perfect platform to create, to be able to help people sustain their careers and grow within, their performing industry as an artist.
Awesome. Johannesburg is a competitive creative hub. What strategies have helped Zeal Talent Management stand out and grow in such a dynamic environment?
Um, okay, I can't give away my secrets, but I think just nurturing, the talents and having a sort of a personal relationship with them as opposed to having a more work kind of relationship. But obviously, we set certain boundaries. That way, they can be open with me about certain challenges that they go through. Also offering them with resources to further develop their craft, because yes, it's okay to have the passion for it, and I think that's the number one thing you need to have, was the passion and the talent, right? But there are tools that are given, that can enhance, their craft and their talent. That's why there's subjects in varsity and drama classes and stuff like that, and not all of them have been there. So we give them the resources that they would need and guide them, have a personal relationship with them, so we're open enough to see where your strengths and weaknesses are.
Okay. From your experience as a producer, what key qualities do you believe make an actor or model truly bookable in today's industry?
The truth is, I mean, everyone calls themselves a model now. But with me, I think I have, not to sound arrogant, but I do think I have the ability to choose a model. And I think the appearance, confidence, there's a certain aura that models have. And yes, connections usually like get people the roles, which is very unfortunate, because then sometimes the talented people don't get the job, and then someone who's more connected in the industry will get the gig only because they know a certain person. But I think it's more of the distinct look, more on the eccentric side, the aura, the confidence, and knowing that you are that person, you are a model. Yeah.
Cool. You're now expanding into creative wellness. What challenges in the entertainment industry made you realize this kind of support is necessary?
Okay. The entertainment industry is a very nice industry because we have the freedom to be creative. There are spaces where it's more of a conservative approach to your creativity. But then I'm realizing now, as it keeps developing, like the younger kids are expressing themselves with in an unconventional way, and but then with that, within the nature of the entertainment industry, there's lifestyle issues. So it's the drinking, it's the substance abuse, it's the late working hours, it's the underpayment, it's choosing passion over financial security, it's transitioning out of roles into new roles, because you know when you play a certain role as a character, for example, if you're playing the villain, you have to sort of channel into that emotion and you have to become that person. And actors usually struggle to come out of that character, and they find that there's no support in such things, and it affects them spiritually. And I just saw that, okay, how can we help people sustain their creativity and also nurture their well-being, because I think when you're addicted to like alcohol or drugs, or have you don't sleep much, it affects your craft in some way. So as Zeal Heals, what the new service will be called, we want to support entertainers and creatives from a spiritual level, because just to remind them that you must come back to yourself, be present, and you being present enlightens you, and it brings you back to yourself. And I think that can help you sustain your well-being and your craft. So it just works hand in hand.
Lovely. Mental and spiritual well-being is often overlooked in entertainment. How will your new wellness service practically support artists on their journey?
I didn't hear the last part. I'm so sorry.
Sure, no problem. I think I asked, how will your new wellness service practically support artists on their journey?
Okay, so we will offer. I don't want to give it away. I don't want to give it all away because it will be
Okay,
said during the launch party. But we
okay,
will be giving them basically spiritual help. I mean, spiritual
okay.
support. Yes, so that's all I can say.
No problem.
Yes.
What are some of the most common struggles you've seen talent face behind the scenes that audiences may not be aware of?
Mm, Financial challenges. A lot of the time, people think that, okay, because this person is on TV, then, oh, they are rich, they are living a glamorous life. But most of the time, these people have to fake it just to keep this facade of being, in the limelight. So I think it's mostly financial challenges and having to keep up with other celebrities, and comparisons. They compare each other to other people in their space. Yeah, it's mostly financial issues that they honestly, yeah, are struggling with.
Okay. For aspiring actors and models trying to break into the industry, what are the biggest mistakes they should avoid early on?
Do it because you're passionate about it. Don't do it because there's a hype or it's trendy or it looks trendy. Do it because it's something that you're really passionate about, and yeah, it's something you want to do, and you should know that you have the talent. And if people like myself or casting directors approach you and tell you you have the talent, even if it's something that you don't want to do, maybe they see you on the streets and say, hey, you have a face of a model, we're looking for a new model for this campaign, then maybe consider being a model on the side. But just make sure that you're passionate about it, and yes, and have the confidence. Don't make that mistake of not having the passion and not being consistent. Also, consistency is another thing.
That's true.
Yeah.
How do you balance the business side of talent management with the human side, nurturing individuals with dreams, emotions, and pressures?
So just generally having a personal relationship with them, checking in with them like almost every day, checking to see what's working for them and what's not working for them. Then we do have like we have meetings weekly where I basically give them resources on how to enhance, their creativity and their performance, give them mock auditions so that they can practice their self tapes. And yeah, that's pretty much, the gist of how we do this.
Lastly, looking ahead, what is your long-term vision for Zeal Talent Management, and how do you hope to shape the future of the entertainment industry in South Africa and beyond?
I just want to let it known that your well-being comes before anything else. And in order for you to really be successful in this industry, is if you come in with a good spiritual hygiene, and everything else will just fall into place. So that's how I plan on, changing the entertainment industry or impacting the entertainment industry.
Oh, but what about the long-term vision part? I think you might have skipped that one.
The
I mean,
long-term vision.
yeah.
Yes, I think that would basically be it.
Oh,
Just,
okay, okay,
yes, how helping
okay,
them with
no,
their, yeah.
okay, no problem. All I got to say is thanks so much for your time, and yeah, we'll catch up in the future.
Okay, thank you so much.
Welcome.
Thank you. Okay, bye.